Well, hello, everybody. It's the Dennis and Andy Show movie review just for you. That's right. For our subscribers, this movie review is just for you. So if you're just seeing this for the first time, like, subscribe, and share so we get more subscribers. Every Friday, we do a movie review because every Thursday, we see a movie, whether it's at the theater or streaming service, most of the time at the theater. And like you saw this week, last night, we saw Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
It is a movie that I didn't know about. Dennis didn't know about. He sent me the trailer, Monday, I think, or something?
Yeah. So just to give you guys an idea, we always sit there and look ahead of time because when we're in the movies and we see movies every week, at least one, we've seen, I swear, every trailer that's out there. Lo and behold, we have never seen this trailer. I'd never heard about it. Somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, you need to check this out." I was like, "Never heard of it. What's it on? What's in the theaters? What?" Watched the trailer, sent it to Andy, and we were both like, "Gotta see this."
I was gonna say, so this movie is a Shudder production. I mean, there's other productions, but it's basically Shudder, which, if you don't know, Shudder is a horror movie app you can download, and it's all horror stuff. That's all it is. Apparently, it's been around for a few years, but they must be doing well to basically make movies just like Amazon does now, and Netflix does now. And they're actually getting them into theaters. And the thing was, before this movie, you always see a litany of trailers. I swear to God, every trailer was a Shudder.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every one.
I was going to mention that, they've got some with Nicolas Cage coming out.
Yeah.
But these were all horror genre films that I was like, oh, never seen that one. Didn't see that one. Not that one. But so there's a bunch of them coming out, and quite a few of them piqued our interest.
They did. And the other thing I noticed with the Shudder movies is they keep them nice and tight. Runtime, we're talking like an hour and a half generally. I don't think I've seen a couple. We've seen a couple Shudder movies. I don't think they've been more than 2 hours.
And this one, and we'll get into it in a second here, it was a cool 93 minutes. It was perfect. And the reason we did, the premise behind this movie is, this takes place in 1977, but Johnny Carson had a rival, a fictitious rival named Jack Delroy, hosting the syndicated talk show Night Owls that has long been a trusted companion to insomniacs around the country. However, ratings for the show have plummeted since the tragic death of Jack's beloved wife. Desperate to turn his fortunes around, on Halloween of 1977, Jack plans a Halloween special like no other, unaware he is about to unleash evil into the living rooms of us, the Americans.
The movie stars David, I'll screw his last name up, Dastmalchian. Dastmalchian. He's a character actor. I mean, I've seen him in lots of stuff. He was in Suicide Squad, Polka Dot Man.
Oh, yeah. He was
in Dune. He was in Dune, Dennis.
He was briefly in Dune.
Yeah.
He usually plays, I think he was in Dark Knight.
He was in Dark Knight, yep. Joker's thug.
Yeah, I like him in everything, but he's always been in everything just about I can remember seeing him in. He's always a background character, and he's got charisma. So to see him be the lead in a movie was very intriguing. And, being this late night host, he's got the charisma that came out. He looked like somebody who would be up against Johnny Carson. And I think he pulled off his role incredibly well.
He was great. Just to give you other credits, I told Dennis this after the movie. I said, that dude was literally just in an episode of The Rookie. I watched that show, The Rookie. He was just in that. He was in The Last Voyage of the Demeter. We saw that last year. I'm sure he was in it. I just don't, he does such a good job of like assuming these different characters. It's not that he fades away. He just plays these different characters so well that you don't, it's not a Tom Cruise where you go, oh, it's Tom Cruise or whatever.
Right.
So he was really good. Other than that, I even usually I don't pull up IMDb. I let Dennis handle all that, but I did for this because I was like, let me see these other actors. I'm sure I've seen these other actors, the key players, like his Ed McMahon sidekick. I'm sure I've seen him. Couldn't tell you where. The producer of the show, who is all about obviously the ratings and stuff, kind of a dick. Sure, I've seen him. I don't know.
It really was a heavy Australian cast, so
Okay.
they kept the budget low because they went with a lot of people that are usually secondary or tertiary characters, and I actually think they brought a great ensemble of characters to this cast. So the thing that, as we get into the movie now, the thing that really attracted me to this. So this takes place in 1977. Everything felt like it was 1977. Like we were either sitting in the audience as one of the members or we were watching it on TV. They do a great job. And the reason this movie's only 93 minutes long is the first like 5 minutes. It's like one of those 70s, oh, this happened and this happened. It's like a behind the scenes, and they fill you in on all this exposition dialogue immediately up front. And they do it in such a great way. It's like watching a documentary from the 70s. And then it launches right into it. Everything is filmed in the old, almost everything, like in the 4:3 aspect ratio, like you used to watch it on your, say, Zenith hard wooden console television set.
Oh, yeah.
They did such a great job of recreating everything. The set design, the clothing, the hairstyles, everything that they did, it was incredibly 70s. And you were immediately, the way they filmed this, immersed into, hey, I am sitting here as part of the audience. And they just did a really good job of immediately pulling you in.
And speaking of the way they filmed it, I'm looking at trivia stuff on IMDb. They shot it in 20 days. Obviously, it was all set in this one studio, 360-degree set. But they say they shot the film like a TV show with 3 cameras running the whole time because they really want to give you that feel of a TV show. So the basic story, like Dennis said, this guy has to boost his ratings. It's Halloween night, 1977. His first guest is a psychic guy that can, speak to the dead and whatnot, who's pretty cool. His next guest is a guy who used to do stuff like that, but then basically was like, that's it. I'm not going to swindle people anymore. I'm going to lift the veil and I can disprove anything that you see and show you why it's a bunch of bunk and whatever. And that guy,
and I'll offer you money, $100,000 check that he had in his pocket if he couldn't disprove what you were saying.
Yep, and that guy was a total dick, but he was great. I mean, the actor did a great job.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the star of it is this female psychiatrist type doctor that took under her wing this. She's 13 now, but I think she was 10 at the time, 7 or 10 at the time. This girl who was part of basically this cult where they did rituals, sacrifices, things like that. And then, the FBI raided the house and kind of like Waco, the cult leader convinced everybody to light everything on fire with gasoline. And this girl was the only survivor. And, in the house, they basically would do these sacrifices basically to the devil. And the whole point is to do live on the show, have her handler, the doctor lady, bring out, the devil in this girl. And that's when things things go a little haywire before, and we're not doing a spoiler review for this because we think it was so good. You should just see it.
And if we get into too many spoilers, it will ruin some of the cool shock value and the twists
Yeah.
and what you think's going to happen. So, we're just going to let you know what we thought.
That's right. So yeah, so in the trailer you do see.
Yeah,
What?
I was just going to say Ingrid Torelli, she plays Lily, which is the young girl.
Oh my gosh, she was great.
She actually, for the little bit she was in the movie, she stole the entire movie. You've got to have this creep factor, this fear factor, and she had it all. She brought this, and even the way she looked and smiled, and you're like, wow, it was fantastic. It absolutely was. And
she was creepy. I mean, she did a great job of being unsettling.
Yes, exactly. And Christa, which was the first guest, he was very much like a charlatan, and that's what you would expect him to be. But then that takes a great twist, which is fun to watch, and he wound up being an interesting character. Laura Gordon plays June, which is the I guess parapsychic scientist, and she was great. She when she has to be earnest, she is. When she's trying to say, look, you need to listen to me, I'm an expert in this, and she comes across as very credible. And Carmichael is the bad guy, the skeptic, played by Ian Bliss, and you hated him throughout the entire movie, which means he did his job great, because he really is the antagonist in this story. So fantastic. They all played their parts incredibly well, so much it never felt out of place. You felt like you were sitting there in 1977, and it made its way through the entire movie, keeping that veil of immersion.
Yeah, and one of the other things they did that was cool too is, when they were live, on air, it was in full color. But I thought this was neat. I think the only reason they did it is to distinguish between live and when they would go to a commercial break. But everything in the commercial break, when they showed it, was in black and white. Like I said, it doesn't make any sense, because why would it be, except to distinguish live on air out to masses?
I think they did it for a specific reason. It wasn't to distinguish that. I think it was very much like the Blair Witch Project and stuff like that, where it's the handheld cam. The color is what everybody's viewing it in there. And these were all the people's back cameras that they had back then, and they filmed it, and it looked a little grainier and a little, but they made it look like it was a film from completely different cameras, which it was, and it gave that aesthetic and immediate cut to it, so you could tell when they were live and when it was somebody behind the scenes secretly filming them, because a lot of this stuff was supposed to be behind the scenes footage from 1977.
Oh, that's a good point. All right, well, that's about as much as we can say without ruining stuff. So let's give it our grade. I think you're first this time.
I am. I was thoroughly thrilled with this. I loved everything about it. The trailer made me excited for it. I had a feeling I was going to be let down. I was not. Matter of fact, it was much better than I anticipated. Everything about it felt like I was sitting there in 77 being part of this. And I loved it. The only negative was one of the special effects that occurred a few times looked really kind of cheesy and out of place. But all the other effects looked like they were from 1977. They had that complete feel to it. I love the practical effects that they did with this. There was nothing I disliked about this movie, really. All my little gripes are little nitpicks. I would actually see this again, and I actually texted a bunch of people last night saying they got to go see it. I'm giving this a 9.2. This is one of the best horror movies I've seen in a long time.
Wow. High praise, a 9.2. Holy crap. Only.
Yeah, I loved it.
I really enjoyed it too. I don't know if I'd see it again because I don't think I missed anything. You know, sometimes you see a movie and you go, I missed some stuff. I know I did. I don't think I missed anything. But I really did enjoy it. I'm lower than Dennis. I'm giving it 8.0. Still high grade. I mean, that's a high grade. And when you average them out, you get probably around an 8.5. So I thought the performances were great. I really liked the actor that played the lead, and the girl Lily, that actress, was just great because she just was so creepy. So yeah, so I'm giving it a 8.0. So there you go. What's IMDb giving it?
IMDb is giving it a 7.5. So they are thinking it's a solid movie. Rotten Tomatoes. The critics are giving it a 97.
Really?
Yeah. That surprises me, but wow. And the audience is at an 82.
Well, look at that. Well, that is fantastic. So guys,
wow,
if you want to see
everybody agrees on a movie.
Yeah. You know, the only drawback I would give it, but it's because they were going for that 1977 feel, is on the big screen, it's the TV square type format. So it actually doesn't take up the full screen. Yeah. That's minor. You get used to that within the first 5 minutes or so, and then you don't even realize it anymore. So that's a minor quibble, but just to let you know. So go check that out. And also check out Kor-Drath the Awakening, guys. We are a little over a week away. Next weekend, we'll be launching it because this weekend we're going to be at a con, which we'll talk about. So go sign up, because when you sign up and back the book, you will get this beautiful Adriana trading card drawn by me, colored by the awesome Kelsey Shannon. There she is in all her glory. Go great with the Lilith trading card. Of course, there is the main cover by moi and Dan Lawless. The homage cover by myself, where I even colored it. We've got the beautiful Budroot variant cover. You're like, hey, that looks strikingly familiar, because it pairs up nicely like a fine wine with the perfect steak with the Lilith cover he did for the first book. Get them both. They both will be available, but if you already have the Lilith, you got to get this one as well. And if you missed the first book, we do have some of the originals, but we're doing a second print, second chance, with a new cover by Budroot featuring Lilith, and that is that. So guys, check that out. And like I said, this weekend, where are we going to be, Dennis?
We are going to be in Greenville, South Carolina at the awesome SC Comic-Con once again.
That's right. SC Comic-Con, and it is a big show. It is their 10-year anniversary. You got William Shatner. Dennis cannot wait to go suck up to William Shatner. Jim Lee, for one day only, is going to be there. Of course, Dennis and I will be there. Ron Garney, Budroot, a host. It's a great 2-day show. They really blow the roof off with it. Dan Fraga, who is going to be sitting next to us, unfortunately won't be there because kidney stones struck him down at the wrong time. So no Dan Fraga.
Oh, very sad.
Very sad. Next Wednesday, Chris Wozniak is joining the show to talk about his new project. So be there for that at 3 p.m. Next Friday, we can already tell you guys, we're seeing Civil War Thursday night. So next Friday will be the movie review of Civil War. And we're not talking about the re-release of the Marvel one. Oh, no. This one could hit close to home with how tensions are.
It's another A24 movie, so I'll be curious to see how this one goes over as well. Love the A24s.
Isn't it your son's favorite?
It is.
Is he going to see this one?
I guarantee it.
Nice. You know what else is nice? Here's the Kor-Drath the Awakening trailer. See you guys later. Have a great weekend. Come see us in Greenville, South Carolina.
That's right.
Bye-bye, everybody.